Tiff, this some bullshit. I was getting used to doing good, better, best. I hate the Packers.
Period. I was getting used to wearing my winning onesie. I thought we were gonna get another appearance to the winning onesie, but I had to pull out regular clothes because we could not pull out the win. And it really, when you think about it, it's like, all right, we done won so much lately. Every team gonna drop a game. But to drop it to these jokers and the way that we dropped it, that's what really, really upsets you. That's what really pissed you off.
Nah, facts. Listen, losing, we used to lose, right? We've lost a lot of games in the last X amount of years. We've got to build up a callus on losing. Losing to the Packers. That's never cool. I'm never gonna get used to that. I'm never gonna accept it. Even though I kind of feel like, and maybe you've been hearing some of this too. The vibe from Bears Nation is that tough loss, but at least we competed. At least the game was good. At least we were competitive.
I've seen mixed. I've seen for the most part, Bears fans are like, you know what? We pulled it together in the second half. That gives us a lot of hope. And then the other narrative that I've seen is, of course, dissecting that last play every way from Sunday, whether they're blaming Caleb, play call, whatever it's been. So those are the two narratives that I've seen. There was a lot to be hopeful about and happy about, but that also kind of pissed you off even more because it was like the win was right there. And I don't know. I like to put bad stuff out of my mind. So I was used to winning. There was nothing in my mind that couldn't tell me that we were about to go score and then have the decision of whether we were going to go for the win or go for the tie. That's all my mind was thinking. But it was like when it didn't happen, it was like these bastards. It's always Green Bay. And you know what made me even more mad? All week, people are just talking like we just can't beat them. And then like they just yes, I know the record in recent history, over the last however many decades. But let's not act like most of our games are not competitive. Last year, we had them beat, and a fluke block field goal in the first game is why we lost that game, and we beat them in the second game. So that was making me angry that people are just talking like we never compete with Green Bay. And once again, we had another game where we looked like trash in the first half. Then we're competing, and it really looks like it's turning our way like it has all season. But of course, with Green Bay, they get that fluky interception at the end. The plays that have been going our way went their way. So that's what may piss me off even more. But generally the vibes that I'm seeing are, we gonna get their ass in 2 weeks. It's nothing. We got their number now.
I ain't on that with any Bears fans that's talking that. I ain't on that with y'all. I'm off that. The Packers were beatable, and we let them off the hook. Shout out to Dennis Green. Rest in peace. We don't do moral victories anymore in this era. That's for that Dick Geron, John Fox, Eberflus version of the Bears. Moral victories are for minor league coaches. And I already told you I expected to beat them cockroaches. Anyway, before we get to our good, bad, and ugly, because punk ass Packers, the second biggest conversation going on in Bears Nation outside of what we just talked about is what Caleb should have done on that last play, other than throw the ball to throw a better pass to Cole Kmet. You you've had the all 22 all day. You've looked at that play. Where are you at with this? Could he have ran for that first down, or should he have thrown the ball to DJ Moore? Is there anything other than what the eventual decision was?
So the way the play, laid out with him looking to pass it, I think at that point it was too late for him to try to run it. But from the jump, I think if he would have tried to run it, or if we would have even went with Monungai, that we had a very decent chance to get that first down. I don't think they had stopped Caleb from picking up a first down when he ran it all game. And they're weaker on the outside. They're pretty strong run defense on the inside, but they're weaker on the outside, which is obviously where he would have went. So that was my preference. I thought we were going to run the ball. That was my preference. The DJ Moore thing, I've looked at it every way from Sunday. DJ doesn't look like a viable option. After he's already thrown the ball, is DJ looking open? Yes. But damn, he's already thrown the ball at that point. Like, you got to look at when he still has the ball, the difficulty of the throw to get it to DJ right there. And there were defenders closing in on DJ and surrounding DJ. So DJ is not some layup like people are trying to make it seem. To me, it was either hit Cole immediately when he was open, or the play should have been run for that first down first. Because I don't even think Swift was open enough for him to get that first down. That would have been a dicey throw too. So looking at it, there weren't great options. There it would have had to been a quicker decision by Caleb, like either throw it to Cole as soon as he's open or run for it and get the first down. But the DJ thing, I'm not seeing what people are seeing. They making that up to me.
Yeah, that's Monday morning quarterbacking. This whole DJ argument. He was already cocked, ready to throw the ball to Cole Kmet by the time DJ even flashes away from the line of away from the line of scrimmage. And at that point, it's still a difficult throw again across his body. Yes, if anybody want to say, well, he made a throw across his body rolling left last week to win the game, well, to put the game out of contention against the Philadelphia Eagles, I hear you. But this is bang bang. This is in the clutch.
It was absolutely the right read. It's not even a question to me. It's a high-low concept. It's the same play they ran last week to Philly. You got man coverage on Kmet. You got man coverage on Colson. If you look at the play again, and this is just not my opinion, this is coming from the Packers locker room. They ran man coverage on the outside. Number 33, Evans, actually gets caught in the wash. He's actually pursuing Caleb. And other than that, you could see number 7. I think that's Quay Walker. He looks like he's in spy. So everybody talking about he could have ran this and that. No, Quay is in spy. He's flowing play side with Caleb. You see Evans get caught in the wash. He's actually pursuing Caleb. He leaves his man coverage responsibility. Sean Nix is supposed to be DJ Moore. He recognizes the play because Caleb is late on it. So he actually falls back in coverage. This is from the Packers locker room. This is not me guessing. This is not me pretending to be an expert, raining on you social media, couch potato experts. This is from the Packers locker room. Nixon recognized that Kmet is left alone because, again, somebody abandoned their man coverage responsibility. If you look at the play again, when Swift leaks to the flat, there's about 4 defenders in that area. Caleb is fast. He's not getting the first down on one of the fastest defenses pursuing. I don't think people understand how quick that open green grass is going to close in an NFL game. So Nixon recognized that Kmet is open. Caleb just didn't see it quick enough. He didn't get the ball away quick enough. If you go back to the play, you have Zacchaeus off the line of scrimmage, off the strong side. He ends up down blocking this week instead of Colson Loveland last week against the Eagles. But the same thing with Cole Kmet leaking out from the weak side. If Caleb throws the ball with anticipation before Kmet gets his head around, it's a touchdown. I don't know what the debate is on social media. It's silly because it's trying to promote a narrative that Caleb dislikes DJ Moore so bad that he's willing to sacrifice. Somebody called me and asked
Now,
me
I
that.
hadn't
Somebody
seen
DM'd
that.
me and
That's
asked me
goofy.
that he just hates DJ Moore
That's
that much. I wish you had this play frame by frame because Caleb is going to his left. DJ is still in the watch. Everybody's about DJ's wide open. That's well after the ball is released. No, he couldn't just wait for DJ to clear because he would have been sacked. I don't think they understand how quickly NFL defenders close and how quickly they make up space. He didn't have time to sit there and wait, especially when his body is already going left. And DJ is kind of behind players and Nixon is over the top. I don't know how fast they think a pass can get there, how fast he can set his feet. The thing is, there's no debate because Kmet was open for the game-tying touchdown.
So how do we feel about that call, period? Like, granted, we've already discussed Cole was open if he would have hit him on time. But being that we just ran it last week successfully, right? And it was a play that got splashed over and over and over and over and over. You know Green Bay's defense was watching that film and recognized something about that play. Dan Orlovsky even said when they called the timeout, he thinks they actually discussed that play. I don't know if that happened or not. That was just him guessing. But what do we feel about us going with that play again? I mean, it was open, but I don't know. I didn't love it.
So and I'm not trying to compare my semi-pro high school indoor arena league career. Good coordinators can run the same play and dress it different and confuse the defense. If you look at a lot of Ben Johnson's play calling, a lot of plays marry the same concept in terms of pre-snap motion, mesh concepts. It's just coming out of different personnel packages, different looks. He ran that play. I know some people were wondering why did he bootleg left with a right-handed quarterback. The thing is, Caleb has legs and is mobile, so he was going to the boundary where they had more space on that play side. They were on the right hash, so that's why he was going left. I don't have a problem with Ben Johnson running the same plays because, as you can see on the film, it still confused the Packers. If you listen to the Packers locker room, it still confused them. There's 4 guys covering one flat. That's never supposed to be happening. I don't have a problem with the play call as long as it gets it done. The execution wasn't there. I don't have a problem with Ben Johnson's play call because the results should have been a touchdown. Caleb just has to throw that ball quicker, better timing, recognize it better, have better anticipation. He should have recognized right away 33, I think his name is Evans, is out of position. You hit Cole immediately. You don't have to wait to see Cole open. He's going to be open. And that's part of the thing that we've addressed with Caleb becoming a better passer. He has to throw with better anticipation. You don't wait to see it open in the NFL.
Let's start with our good for this review of the Bears Week 14 game against the Packers. Obviously, Bears lost 28-21, but there's plenty of time to talk about that. The good things from this game. Tiff, you want to kick this off?
The best thing from this game, since we only have one section where we're talking about good things, is the way we started the second half. It was looking bleak going into halftime. And not just because we were down, but the way that we were down. And I know we'll talk about that a little bit later, when we talk about the bad and the ugly. But the way that we came out of halftime, I'm like, okay, Ben and these coaches are on these boys' heads because we came out and after letting the Packers drive and score at the end of the half, they get the ball back. So I'm like, man, please don't let them score again. And the defense holds them to a 3 and out. Then the offense has a great first drive to get our first touchdown, including that 2-point conversion where it really felt like, okay, we got something going. Then our next drive, we had a great scoring drive with the touchdown to Colson. So it just felt like everything was going well. We were controlling the time of possession. We were moving the ball. Caleb looked a lot more comfortable, a lot more confident. The defense was holding up pretty well. So the way that we started the second half really was the best thing about the game and what gave me some hope within the game and moving forward.
Yeah, I do like that. I had that on my list too. The response at halftime, and I feel like, and Q, you can vouch for this. I said this in our chat on Discord where we was having the conversation during the game. I knew they was going to respond coming out of the tunnel because they've been doing it all season. What did you see? Since week 3, when the Bears got their first win, they've scored 44 points on their first drive in the third quarter and scored 139 points in the second half so far. The first 2 games, I'm not counting them. Obviously, the Bears didn't do any bit of scoring in the second half. But just like that just tells you where this team is in the second half. They know what they got to do. They know how to make the necessary alterations and adjustments and figure some things out. There's no quit in this squad. One thing that you saw is that they started moving the pocket. The Packers was getting really good, consistent pressure, namely from number 1 in the first half. What did they do in response? They started moving the pocket, getting Caleb on the move, moving him out to the right. And you saw, I don't have the specific stat in front of me, that his completion percentage rose the second half when he started moving the ball, booting out to the right and getting and completing some passes on the run. Now, I say all this, and we did just go over the last play of the drive where he threw an interception, and what he rolled out to the left.
My good was, and I don't want to step on toes because Tiffany's going to yell. It was the response, though. We were in a playoff atmosphere on the road. And the last time we were in a game of significance in December was when? When was the last time we were in a game that has serious playoff implications in December? I think the Bears had a small little tiny chance in the playoffs 2 years ago when they finished 7-10. I don't know, they were 6-8 at that point with Justin Fields. But when is the last time we've had a December road game where there were serious playoff implications? Not when we were just in the hunt and 2-3 games out with a small sliver of a chance, but really in the hunt. Like, we're at the top of the division, at the top of the NFC. So my good was a team coming out not looking like the moment was too big for them. I felt like maybe the offense got off to a slow start early, but it looked like a back and forth between two contenders. It looked like what I wanted it to be. And yeah, we came up short, but I'm encouraged for the future of this team. This is year one in the Ben Johnson era. More important, this is year one in this offense. I think they're still figuring it out. They're still getting some of the kinks out. This is year one in the Dennis Allen defense, and a lot of starters have missed time. And Jalen Johnson was on a snap count yesterday. I mistakenly thought he was injured again, but apparently he was on a snap count, which is why you saw Nick McLeod in there a lot, who's really just a special teams guy. So my good was the Bears' response. Um, I read some comments from those that follow and blog on the team that were in the locker room after the game. They said, the morale wasn't down. It wasn't like they were bummed out. Hey, we get Green Bay in 2 weeks. Green Bay did what they were supposed to do as the NFC favorite. They were the favorite after they made the Micah Parsons trade. They did what they're supposed to do. They protected home field. Now they got to come to our house in 2 weeks. I'm encouraged.
My good, it doesn't have anything really to do with the Bears, but it has something to do with the game. Tom Brady gets a lot of shit for his post-football career decisions, being their owner for the Las Vegas Raiders and being the number one game analyst for Fox. People say he sucks at that, right? I'm not one of those people that actually pays attention to that type of stuff. I don't really have the volume all the way up when I'm watching games, and I'm one of those people that be constantly rewinding plays to see how the play materialize, stuff like that. One of the plays when C.J. Gardner-Johnson got beat off the line, I rewinded that play 6 times to watch it again and again and again. So I'm not really one of those people that's paying attention to the actual game call.
I hated that match.
Yesterday, Tom Brady, he was on point. He was calling out stuff that, as it was happening, breaking down plays, namely some of the miscues the Bears were having and some of the miscues the Packers were having. But I always wanted to shout that out. But my separate good was the officiating. We don't say that a lot. No Bears fan can say that the rest was against us yesterday. Bears got all the calls. So
except for the Colston call where they overturned the catch, but I mean we still kept the ball. So
that was for us. They called it incomplete because that was definitely
that could have been a fumble.
No, if anything, if you say he caught it, he would have been down. His elbow would have been down before he took that ball away.
He lost control of the ball
Go
first.
back and look at it.
I've seen I watched
now
y'all
your
22
boy Tom
twice.
Brady said he didn't. Now you just praised Tom Brady. Now you going against Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
What he said.
Hey, hey, we know what's perfect. Even Tom Brady
How
to go.
quickly they change up on you, Tom. How quickly they change up on you, Tom. The way Ben used his challenge, I really appreciated when he threw that flag. LaFleur had gotten a good flag in on that one and he won it. But I was glad that Ben threw that challenge and threw it so quickly because that was another 50-50 on that catch. But that play, if that would have stood, that really could have changed momentum because that was way down the field and we were able to get him off the field off of that. So I think that Ben challenge and being successful challenge was very crucial.
Let's move on over to our bad. Q, you start us off. First thing that jumps off the page to you that needs to be corrected for this game.
This is heavy on my spirit, and it is absolutely frustrating me. So, in anticipation of the game, one of the things that I was most excited about was the Bears defense getting healthy. And in that same group chat you referenced earlier, somebody said Kyler Gordon out. Oh my gosh. I'm about tired. You know what? I'm about tired of this man. Kyler, get your body together. You're gonna have to pack your bags and go. Every time it's that blew me. You injured in warm-ups. Kyler, why? What were you doing with your groin? I'm so tired of the Bears players and their groins. Fix your groins. Jalen, Kyler, fix your goddamn groins. Tremaine, I don't know what's going. Maybe they need to do the little Kegels, something to do the Kegels. Get your groins together because it is so deflating going into a matchup and anticipating you having most of your top guns, and then they're out before the game even starts. You don't even get hurt during the game. I can't take no more of specific players. Kyler Gordon, Jalen Johnson, Jaquan Brisker, Tyreek, they are just in and out the lineup, and it seems like they are more out than in. TJ Edwards, it is deflating because they're so important to the team, and Dennis Allen's defense. That is my bad because that absolutely deflated me because I knew we were going to be, and no disrespect to guys like McLeod, because Nashawn Wright stepped up big time, but there's only so many times you can keep digging into the depth chart to pull pieces from special teams, from the practice squad, and expect them to deliver the same performance that your starters are doing. Part of the reason why that Christian Watson drag route slant, I got to go back and look at where he was matched up in man with C.J. Gardner-Johnson happened because Jalen Johnson was on a pitch count. You already down Tyreek Stevenson, so you're already down Terrell Smith. That's the guy people forget about who Poles drafted a couple years ago, who was taking snaps to Tyreek Stevenson last year. You're down 3 corners. Well, Jalen is rotating, so you're down 3.5 corners. So now you got C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who's a slot and a safety, matched up in man. So that is my bad because I am so frustrated. I was so deflated when I read that across my screen that Kyler Gordon is out. The injuries are starting to irritate me, and I know every team has injuries, but the timing of these injuries, bro, y'all stop doing this to me. Y'all are young men. Get your bodies healthy.
Well, I'll just jump in there since Q missed the pre-production meeting and missed that was gonna be my ugly, but that's okay because I will just tag in on what he is saying. Spidey was gonna be my ugly because, sir, how many games have you even played this season? 1.5, 2?
You can still
Like,
make him
I love
ugly
you.
because
You're at
he needs to be told about himself. Mr. Flexible, Mr.
he has
Bendable.
to. And isn't that ironic? He used to be a dancer. He used to do ballet and all types of dance. Bro, where did your flexibility go away? What happened to your hammies? Why are you
How
walking
you
out
getting
on the
hurt?
field?
Not
Is it
in the
too
warm
cold?
up.
Did your hammy
In the
freeze?
warm ups.
Like,
That
and
was so
it
deflating.
was
That was so deflating.
it was
I hated
so
that because
deflating
I
because
think
he's
he's so important to the defense. They play so much better when he's there, and he was so important to this matchup. Knowing Tyreek Stevenson is unavailable, and knowing Jalen Johnson is still working his way back from the snap count, that hurt my soul, and it was on my spirit. I had to let that out. Tiff, I'm sorry that I took you ugly. Still making you ugly. Just remix
That's
it.
okay. No, I can't. I'm just gonna get it out now because he's our best slot corner, right? And where did Love pick us apart? Exactly there. He was 7 for 7 for 150 yards and 3 touchdowns throwing to receivers in the slot.
Wow.
Come on. You can't tell me that Kyler would not have made a difference. Maybe he would have stopped one of those touchdowns. All we needed was so that was such like my face dropped. I didn't get the notification he wasn't playing. I just heard Tom Brady say it, and my face dropped. Like, huh? Ain't no way he got hurt in the pregame. Pregame? So yeah, I mean, I know it's your body. Like, I know you're doing everything you can, but man, we got to get this team healthy because ain't no way we can continue to go missing so many players with Jalen on like 60% snap count. TJ was on like 60% snap count. Like, we got to get this defense healthy because we already kind of iffy with everybody. So we can't be missing nobody. But since that one was taken, I'm going to go with, for my bad, the opposite of my good. The lack of focus at the end of the half. This has been a problem for the Bears all season and for years, honestly. It's like we weren't playing well in the first half anyway, but it's like right at the end of the half, it's like we think it's double zeros already. We had a good offensive drive after Green Bay had a touchdown, but then we had to settle for that field goal. Then Cairo comes out and has that weird squib kick that ends up giving the Packers great field position. And what do they do with that field position? What was that? I know he tries to do
I'm
that little squib kick, and it's
I'm
usually
so tired of
successful, but
Cairo.
that
I'm about
one
ready to
was
say, Cairo,
hideous.
you've been a good Bear. Um, it's time for you to go somewhere else. I am frustrated with that man and his leg.
Well, we ain't got
We're,
no backup kicker right
we ain't
now, so
got
he
Jake
can't go
Moody
nowhere
now,
right now.
and Jake Moody
No,
had a
he got
stronger leg, was accurate. I miss Jake Moody, and the Commanders are some hoes for doing that. You three and
well, they
10.
put up 0 points yesterday, so
You didn't even
IDK.
use your
He wasn't
kicker.
doing much help.
Thank you. Why did you need a kicker? You're not even getting. You're not even scoring points. You're not even scoring. It's not
We
y'all
shouldn't have beat
year.
him. That's why.
It was y'all year last year. It's not y'all year. Y'all had y'all magical season.
And
Now y'all back to being the Commanders.
yeah, so that gives them great field position, and then the blown coverage on Jalen or whoever was supposed to be there, and they get a touchdown. It just the way we ended that half was hideous.
My bad is Mr. Caleb Williams. It's the repeatable issues where he's missing guys sitting down in the low zones right in front of him. Luther Burton, if
What
you
is
all
that?
remember that in the first quarter,
What is
just
that?
just threw it right, just threw it well east of him. There's nobody within 5 yards of him. He missed them. And he's also still sailing passes and along the sideline. I would say this every week until this thing gets corrected. Caleb didn't complete his first pass until 1 minute and 40 seconds left in the first quarter. He ended the first quarter completing under 50% of his passes. I think he was 3 for 9 in the first half. I don't want to say that he's holding the team back. I don't want to be that emphatic about it, but it is a clear issue with the offense and the next level this team can take. The next step this team can take is this offense getting into high gear. Yes, they did their thing. They scored 3 touchdowns in the second half, but we got to have a more consistent 60-minute performance from the offense. It's taking us too long to get our blood flowing and anything like that. And I'm not talking about I'm not even going to talk about the rushing offense. The rushing offense has been doing its thing for the most parts of the season. It's this passing offense. They need to get it together. It is not all just on Caleb. There were some. I don't even know if that pass that he missed with Luther Burton in the first quarter. I don't even know if Luther Burton was supposed to be somewhere else. I don't even know. But everybody got to get on the same page. And I've said this before. If Caleb is on page 7 and everybody else is on page 6, it's his job as the guy wearing that C on the jersey to get everybody on page 7 with him.
I be trying to be easy on Caleb, but in the pregame, I had said, well, it's not much different in the numbers besides completion percentage between Caleb and Jordan. And man,
How
you
you
made
do?
me look bad with
Hold
that
on.
take, but
How you make a voice for yourself though? How you how you mock? I've never seen anybody mock their own voice.
because I was wrong, so I gotta give myself a little of the mock because I was blatantly wrong at that one, and I'm still not a Jordan Love
Believer.
disciple or anything, but man,
Yeah.
he made that take. Now, granted, this like his 5th year, okay, so we'll give him some space, we'll give him some breather room, and he
6.
did throw
So
that wild interception, wild,
That
but
took
yeah,
I'm
he
so mad that we didn't take advantage of that the right way because it just seemed like it's not your momentum from the sideline. It took the wind out of the crowd when he did that. I wanted the Bears to go and score so bad right there. So I felt like that was a major momentum swing early in the game. And I would have loved to see if the Packers could have responded right. Because the Packers still, favorites or not, you look at the way they respond to some adversity this year with the Cowboys, with the Panthers, with the Browns, hasn't been that good. So I would have loved for the Bears to punch them in the mouth and get the Packers second guessing themselves after that.
yeah, especially like you said, they don't respond to adversity well. The play before that, Montez had just sacked him, so it's like he gets sacked, then he throw that crazy interception. If we would have capitalized on that and went and scored, ain't no telling. With his history of being a little prone to
Turnover.
turnovers, I know he's
Yeah.
been better this year. It's no telling how that would have kind of changed the momentum of the game. So that, yeah, and I just kept thinking because all week they were like, "Oh, well, the Bears can't depend on turnovers. They can't depend on turnovers. Jordan Love doesn't turn it over this year." As soon as he throw that pick, I was like, ah, but then we couldn't do anything with it. So I had to shut up. But
So Toyota Thon is a real thing with him. So I'm gonna just I'm gonna leave bro alone for that one. But good segue because my ugly is going to be about the defensive line's inability to be a problem.
Gotta
3
get
of the
pressure.
4 touchdowns that were scored against the Bears defense yesterday came off of 1, explosive plays, and 2, explosive plays on third down. All of them 20 yards or more. Love is the best. I didn't even say this in the preview because I didn't want y'all to curse me out no more. But Jordan Love is the best quarterback
he
in the
finna start
league on
blazing
third.
again. Here we go.
But no, these are just numbers.
Where's the Jordan
It's
Love
just
jersey
numbers.
at? Just order your Jordan Love jersey. We get it. He's your favorite quarterback.
Sheesh.
Lamar Jackson's my favorite
I
quarterback.
already
I
admit I
can't
was wrong.
tell.
Now I gotta hear this. Like,
Let me finish. Let me finish. Jordan Love is the best quarterback in the league on third down as far as completion percentage is concerned. And the Bears are the worst defense in the league as far as pressure rate on third down. Each time the Packers got to third and long, the Bears sent a very obvious blitz at him. You know
Yeah,
what
I didn't like
what
that.
his final lines were? He was 8 of 11 for 126 yards and 2 touchdowns against the blitz. He was 8 for 10 with a 13 yard per attempt average against man coverage. And you all remember that one particular touchdown he got on
The
CJ
Watson,
Gardner
yeah.
when he got crossed up at the line. That was cover 0.
That's not a fair matchup for CJ. That's you're asking him to
No.
do something that's out of his skill set range. He's a safety. He can
When
he can
Bayer
help
got
you
burned, that wasn't
virtually.
fair to him either.
He can help you in a slot. You don't match up CJ against a receiver like Watson. That's too explosive a receiver. That's reserved for a top corner.
The problem is that they're not generating any type of pressure. The one sack that Montez Sweat got and the one interception that CJ did get, those 2 negative plays the Packers did get, they both came in zone. So when the Bears had to send some people at them because the D-line couldn't get enough pressure and they had to go man, we got carved up. We've talked about this ad nauseum for more than a season. The D-line and its inability to create actual static for the opposing quarterback has got to flip. It's got to flip because, as we talked about Kyler and some other guys in the secondary whose health has been tenuous, we can't depend on us. We cannot depend on this defense to play man. So if we can't play man and we can't send guys because we can't play man, then what are we doing? We're just sitting there waiting for a quarterback to pick us off. And come on, guys, we can't have that. Now, I will say that with what I just said with those numbers, there is a lot for Dennis Allen to chew on and to figure out when the Bears do run it back with the Packers in 12 days.
My ugly. I'm going to stay with the defense. Even though the offense was looking atrocious in the first half, in the second half, they were hanging with Green Bay. The defense was not. And our inability to wrap up and tackle had me pulling my hair out. They missed 13% of their tackle attempts. That's crazy. And I don't want to hear the weather. I don't want to hear none of that. Because Green Bay was rapping. If they got their hands on you, you were down. Our yards after carry was atrocious. So I don't want to hear nothing about no weather or no excuses. But the way that they were just wrapping up and missing, and especially on that last drive, Josh Jacobs, he hadn't even had a good season. But this was his best game by far. And on that last drive, you got 4 defenders around him, and he's slipping and sliding through everybody. They had him stop. They would have had to kick that field goal, but he slipped right on through and got 20-some yards and ended up running in that crucial, ended up being game-winning score. So that was just making me so angry. Like, bro, I know you going to miss some tackles from time to time, but missing 13% of our tackles, especially when we were seeing the tackling on the other end, was making my blood boil. So Dennis Allen, you got a lot to chew on. I know every defender in that locker room better have a chip on their shoulder now and better be upset. And the one I will say, the one thing I like about Brisker, he was pissed off. He dislikes Green Bay from the bird he shot them last year when we beat them. I could tell he really wanted to win this game. Like
Why
when
he's one of my
he tried to
favorites.
run across the field. Yeah, when he tried to run across the field and the touchdown ended up being scored, he was pissed, even though that wasn't on him. He was pissed. So I like his fire, and I want to see that from all the Bears defenders. Because y'all should be pissed off about the way you showed up. Because we definitely could have won that game if we could have stopped any of those scores, especially that one at the very end. So that's my ugly.
So I've been sitting here debating on what my ugly was going to be. I really didn't like the game plan Dennis Allen came up with. Pay already touched on it. But I didn't think being match in man was a good idea for so much of this game. Um, I just felt like, with down our corners, Jordan Love, and he's good against man. So I didn't think that was a great game plan. You definitely exposed our defense to his strength. I felt like I wanted to see a lot more cover three that he has. I would have loved to. I feel like that's the best way to confuse Jordan Love. But my ugly is some of these fair weather Bear fans, these whining ass complainers. Shut the hell up. You all have not seen winning football this decade, and you are so eager. I told you so. You're whining over Jaden, whining over Bo Nix, whining over this. They're not real contenders. Shut up and enjoy the ride. Shut up and enjoy the ride. This is the first time in a long time that I've had actual faith in the Bears having sustained success. And there's a reason to have faith in this regime. Ben Johnson's the right coaching hire. I think he's the guy that will eventually unlock Caleb. But some of these fair weather Bear fans that just want to get on social media and complain, not see the big picture. We're 9-4. Green Bay got to come back here. We get our crack at them again. This is the first year in this Ben Johnson era. They're building something. He's had only one off season to get the players he likes for his system and to train them up, get them up to par. It's Colson Loveland's first year. And half of his offseason was spent injured. Luther Burden's first year, half his offseason spent injured. It's such a doom and gloom and whiny fan base sometimes. And we're sitting here 9-4, still one of the best records in the NFL. I think this fan base has to show this team a little more grace. It's okay to point out some things we want to see improve, because there are things we want to see improve. We want to see Caleb become the reason we win, not just be part of the winning. I think when you have sustained success, and when you drive, especially when you drive for quarterback number one, he can't just be part of the reason you win. He's got to be the reason you win. He's got to be the guy. That game against Green Bay, Caleb has to. What did you say? Pay in the preview about? I mean, not this preview, but in the game preview when you talked about covering up team deficiencies last week. When you're an elite quarterback, those are things you do. And I feel like if Caleb or when Caleb reaches that level, you can cover up some of the mistakes we made with maybe Dennis Allen and like you said just a few moments ago about getting on the same page. You're the number one pick. You are the guy. You are the top guy of the offense. So I don't want to hear, like you said, DJ wasn't in the right spot or Zacchaeus in the right. Pull them to the side. You have to communicate with them what you need them to do. So yeah, my ugly is these fair weather fans. I'm not even going to address Chicago Packer fans. That's like the stupidest thing you can be. Like, of all the things you could be growing up, you want to be a Packer fan from Chicago. Like, look
Dumbest.
at
What
yourself
happened?
and
Who dropped you on your head when you was a kid?
you weren't loved. Like, I think if you grow up to be a Packers fan in Chicago, your parents didn't give you hugs, so they didn't love you, or you
They
were the
didn't.
middle
You trying to
child.
defy. That's defiance. You trying to defy them and make
You're
them angry.
defiant. You're rebelling against your parents. Maybe they didn't raise you with love and embrace you. But you know what, kings and queens, you don't have to take out your anger and frustration in the world. Take off that stupid green and yellow stuff. You don't
Please.
need the attention that bad. You're an adult
Please.
now, and I just feel like it's a cry for help. Chicago Packer
Ugh.
fan, if you want to talk, I'm here. I recognize the signs of cry for help. Please don't do any more self harm. Don't put that stuff on. I don't care how bad it gets in Chicago. I don't care if the Bears go 0-17. There is never a reason to be a Packers fan ever.
Never.
Bear down.
Bear down.
Bear down.
Thanks for listening to this latest episode from the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan Channel. Don't matter if you listen to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or watch it on Twitch or YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe, share with a friend, hit the notification bell so you never miss a drop. And to all the guys from Chicago, we say three things. Bear down, go Cubs go, and sell the team, Jerry.